Clive Hale. Welcome to For Love of Money, Australia's fine arts and collectors program, which this week comes to you from Elizabeth Bay House, the grandest family home built in colonial Sydney. Mrs. Barbara Wallace of Sydney's Point Piper is the proud owner of this collection of silver objects, purchased some time ago in London at the Silver Vaults there. She asked for an up-to-date valuation. Please, panel. Actually, these aren't all that there are several others as well, but this is quite enough probably to handle at once. Peter Code, I think silver in your eye gleaming once again.
Well, they're certainly gleaming, Clive, and the rarity with these is you have a pair of mustard pots. I believe that the proud owner has 6 of the salt cellars.
That's right.
And a pair of the mustard pots. Now...
Well, why? What's so rare?
Well, I've never seen a pair of matching mustard pots. Have you in all the years of selling?
No,
matching
no,
ones?
you normally have.
Now, the interesting thing the camera can pick up, the design is identical on the mustard pots, but this design is enlarged. In other words, it goes from the finial there right to the edge, whereas this one doesn't. The question is why? Now, mustard, of course, in this mustard pots rather than this form, start out in the late 18th century. Prior to that, it was used as a spice. It was dry. It was used in casters. This, it was mixed with water and that. And the reason for these would be, Clive, that with the mustard, ground mustard seed, you'd still have the same colour. One would have been mixed with milk to be a milder mustard, one with water to be hotter. And so to differentiate, because the colour would be the same.
French and English.
You had the different design on the thing. But they're quite rare, and the interesting thing is the marks here. There we have the hallmark on it there. It's made in London, 1825, and the maker is John Bridge, who was the royal silversmith with Philip Brundle, and they joined together in 1788, which of course the year that Captain Arthur Phillip was coming out here.
Right.
And they got the royal appointment a few years later, and the mark on them, if you can see it, may be clearer on that one. No, that one. There is a crown above the John Bridge, the J&B.
Yeah, as you say, there are 6 in that collection
There
of
are
salt?
6 salt cellars. All the decoration is cast round the edge. They're a wonderful weight. It's the original gilding. Look at the man, and the quality is just superb.
Actually, why that
Peter,
one's
is
for the
marvellous,
mile
isn't
and
it?
that's for the stronger mustard? Why?
Why is that, ladies and gents?
No, bigger spoon.
Spoon. More mustard, yeah.
See, not bad. Now, just before we get to the valuation, one of the questions we're always being asked by viewers is about the cleaning of silver. Now, how should it be done best?
There are all sorts of commercial preparations on the market, Clive, and I must say that the purists of silver say you should only clean your silver with soap and water. Most people, however, tend to use one of the commercial preparations, and there is one which has a foam-off action. Now, my only pointer to people is, for goodness sake, please do make sure you dry the piece very thoroughly, because water can corrode silver. And, of course, the other things that can corrode silver are salt, and hence the reason why salt cellars have to be gilded on the interior or have a glass liner. Salt is one of the worst corrosives of silver.
And you'd be staggered how many salt cellars are pitted by people leaving salt in them and getting the damp and it eats into the
never
silver.
leave salt in a salt cellar permanently or even overnight,
Right,
Clive.
what do you use to clean this piece of silver?
Well, in this case, you probably would be
cloth.
safe with just a soft cloth. I think people tend to over-clean silver. If you are going to use a preparation like a foam-off silver cleaner, you shouldn't be using that more than once every 6 months. And
The more you use silver, the less you've got to clean it.
just
If
a
you
soft
just buff it
cloth.
up with a soft cloth, you know, every time you
Never
use
let
it,
it get
Clive.
So summing up, you say a soft cloth or perhaps soap and water, and that's about it.
If they want to
Just
write into
for
the Museum of Applied Arts and Sciences, they do have a special little formula which you can make up yourself, Clive.
Right,
But
enough.
that is a rarity to get 6 matching
Okay.
salt cellars and a lovely pair of matching
Evaluation then
pots.
for our mustard and salts.
15,000 plus.
Worth that, but you mightn't get it.